Well, just briefly before we go on to the main event, Charlotte Ronda Rousey. Something I have heard online, well, I'd say online, I don't think Dave Meltzer wrote it, is that because I don't watch weekly, you don't watch weekly. He said, for what it's worth, that people were very much interested in this WrestleMania match when they first announced it, and then throughout the weeks, people got less interested. I don't know if it's because of their interviews or because of their personalities, but do you think it could have been, other than the match itself, that could be a reason why the audience just wasn't with it or not invested as they could have been?
No. I don't think, when you say for what it's worth, it in that situation would be Dave Meltzer saying that a lot of people have lost interest in this program.
No, it was just him saying he'd lost interest.
Oh,
Or,
Dave had lost interest in it?
yeah.
Oh. No, I don't think that Dave losing interest in the match had anything to do with the audience being a little fatigued at that point. I was fortunate enough to get the news from Dave Meltzer that AJ Styles and the next night was cut due to a pyrotechnic accident on his entrance. When AJ appeared, AJ was marked up and was bleeding
That
from the
wasn't the reason.
cheekbone. It was not the reason.
It was
It
not the
turns
reason.
out. It turns out that AJ just walked right into the set, which is fine. They're not used to that set. It's a big set. He might not have done rehearsals for his entrance. Whatever. He didn't mean to. It's not like it fucking didn't piss him off, you know. But again, Dave Meltzer had lost interest in Charlotte and Ronda's program, thus causing an exhausted crowd. And AJ Styles actually got cut open by pyro and not the set because Dave wrote it. I'm not going with the evidence that I've seen. I think the crowd was exhausted.
Yeah, I think that's probably
at that point. And when they've seen near fall after near fall after near fall after near fall, when they've seen every single match, I don't know if I mentioned this, go to the floor for very little consequence. Like whatever happened out on the floor was not the finish in most of these matches. So if all of a sudden in match number 5 or 6 here, you're telling me that, oh, what happens on the floor will be of consequence. And if we hit a big maneuver that people are familiar with, it will be the finish. We are not prostituting our finishes here. So people are waiting for, oh, it's not going to end on a sunset flip. It's not going to end on a backslide. It's not going to end on a cradle. It's not going to end on a roll. We need to see the figure 8. We need to see the spear. We need to see Ronda's armbar. We need to see all this stuff before we can actually buy that something would be the finish to this match. So they're waiting, you know, and it's what I spoke to earlier about building the show and the totality of the show. If Shinsuke Nakamura is kicking out of an Uso super kick and a frog splash, you know, or a superfly splash, in the very first match, then 40 near falls later, I'm not really buying it with Ronda and Charlotte. Or at least it doesn't help.
No, it doesn't help.